Okay, guys, it's already 6:35. We are like almost 10 people. So three, four, seven. Seven of you are joined. One is already on leave. He already stated in the group that he will not join, and it's just Rahul. Okay, one more person is left. Okay, we can start, I guess. So, welcome everyone in this session. So, here in this session, we will try to understand the distributed file system and how the distributed compute works. Okay, but before that, I wanted to go through the Python assignment that I have shared some time before, and I expect you guys might have done and put some efforts to solve it. So let me share my screen. We will go through the assignment, and it will be really great if it is more interactive. Like we will go through the assignment question one by one, and any of you can unmute your mic and can tell me how you approached it. Okay? Okay. So now you might be able to see my screen. This one is the Python assignment. Okay. So talking about the first question. Find the element in the middle of the array. Had anyone tried that? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. It's totally correct. Yeah, it's totally correct. Like anyway, we had to find the middle of the array. So we had to get the middle index. And to get the middle index, we had the length of the array divided by 2. Straightforward, simple. Okay, let's go to second one. Sort an array in ascending order. Anyone tried? Mm-hmm. Okay. Basically, I was expecting like you will be writing some small code to sort it instead of just using the sort function. But it's totally fine. Like in the while working on in the jobs, we, we will not sit and write the sort things. We will use directly the sort functions that are already provided by the Python library. So if I talk of sorting an array from a very naive sense, um, let me just open a. Okay. So let's say I had some array 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 2, 6, 1. Okay. So the sorted version of this array would be 1, 2, 2, 3, 6. Right? So how to achieve from this state to this state? So we had to think in terms of logics. Okay. Now we know the concept of swapping two elements. So just the most naive thinking that will come to my mind will be like, what if I swap all the small elements to the initial places, right? But if I swap it, then my current element will go at the last, or whatever the position for my smallest element. So what I can do, I can iterate it. Instead doing like this, what I can do, I can select the element one by one, and can compare it with the individual element. Okay. And where if my current element is small, if my current element is is greater than this, if my current element is smaller than this element, the next element, then that means it is perfect, it is perfectly fine. But if it is not, let's say we arrived at this position, then what we will swap it, we will swap its positions. So similarly, we can do it for this element, we can do it for this element, we can do it for this element, and eventually we will end up having a sorted array, right? Like if this might be confusing when I say it from an overall picture. Let's say I had two counters, I and j. Okay, j, I will set it on the runtime. So what I am doing is, while I is less than my length of this array, and while my j is, so I will set j equals to I plus 1, because every time for this particular element I wanted to swap it from the next, I will search the comparison for this element for the rest of the one. Then I will search the comparison for this element for the rest of the element. So if my I is 1, so j should start from I plus 1 every time. And then I can say, since it is starting from here, while my j is less than my length of the array, if that is the case, what I will be doing, I will be checking if my current element is greater than the element I was searching here. If my current element is greater than the element I am searching here, then I had to swap that. How I can swap? Temp equals to array of I, the very traditional way that we had discussed. Now I can update the value of I because I have already saved it, and then I will update the value of j with my temp. It's swapped. Cool. And every time we go through it, we will increase the j to 1, because otherwise it will be an infinite loop, and I will increase I by 1 to make it a finite loop outside. So if I keep on doing this, I will have the sorted array. Like if I illustrate how this will work, how this particular code will work. So if you see, when my I is 0, j is 1, comparison will not work, because 3 is already, is 2 greater than 3? No. 2 greater than 2? No. 2 greater than 6? No. 2 greater than 1? Yes. Swap them. 1 3 1 3 2 6 2. Now my I will move to this place, and j will start from here. So is 3 greater than 2? Swap it. 2 3 6 2. Now 2, so is 2 greater than 6? No. Is 2 greater than 2? No. Now I will move to this place, and j will start from here. Is 3 greater than 6? No. 3 greater than 2? Yes. So it will swap 1 2 2 6 3. Now again I will move to 6, and j will be 3. Is 6 greater than 3? Swap 1 2 2 3 6. We arrived at the final destination. So this particular algorithm that I talked about, it is known as bubble sort. Okay, so like, are you clear with the logic? Like, how I was just explaining a two pointer concept here by means of explaining the sorting algorithm. So this two pointer, you can use two pointers wherever you had to do the comparison on two sides of the array. Like um, you wanted to run certain algorithm which wants to compare multiple elements with a single element, or like based on the use case. You will come to know. So is this looks clear to you? Okay, let me just also run it. So if I use the sort array function and give this similar array, since I haven't written a return function, it will not return me anything. So I have to say say it like this, then I can print this array. Okay, so I have set it the array, this arr equals to this, and now I pass it to the sort function. It sorted this array, and then I'm printing this array. Right, it works as we expected. All right, so you guys are clear about this, right? How the two pointer thing, um, how I am using I and j to point specific elements to the array, and how I am making the comparison to make my logic works. Okay, then this one, the third question, find if a string is a palindrome or not. Okay, uh, so many of you, those of you who doesn't know what a palindrome is a string. If you uh, read it forward, or you read it from backward, it sounds same, like radar, radar. So if you read it from backward as well, radar, so it's a palindrome, level, level. Okay, so given a string, we had to identify whether the string given a string is a palindrome or not. So anyone tried doing that? Hmm. Check the max. Basically, string is also an array of characters only. Like if I show it to you, so let's say I say a string race car. Okay, so this is an array of character. Like if I wanted to access the zeroth element, so zeroth element is r, first element is a, zeroth element is r, a. It's like that. Mm-hmm. So you wanted to say, like I can select a j, let's say, and you are saying length of s minus 1 to be an index. Okay. Mm-hmm. This one append to this one. Okay. I didn't get it actually, but you can talk in the same way. Like let's say we talked about this one, reverse array using swap, right? So we talk of the left one and the right one. So we can go with a similar way. Set L, set the R. Wherever my L is equals to R, keep on continuing. Increase the L, decrease the R. And if you keep on getting the same values and your L is greater than the R, then it means it's a palindrome. And if it doesn't match, then it's not. Yeah, makes sense. Do you need me to write the code quickly, or is it fine? Then also we can do. We can reverse the string and we can check whether the contents of the both of the string are equal or not. So, I can see only Anil is talking. Rest of the class like Somya, mm, Nived, Khalil. Are you? Are we on the same page? Akhil. If you guys talk, then it would be really better. Okay, thanks. Okay, so the fourth question is given an array where we had the natural numbers with a missing element. So, what we mean by natural number? Natural number could be a continuous series of number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 up to infinity. Okay, so from this natural numbers, there is an element missing. So we had to identify which element is missing. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 5 is missing, right? So we had the answer to this missing element for this particular array would be 5. So how we can do that? Anyone apart from Anil who might have done? Or if let's say if you haven't done it, but do you have any idea of uh, how you will approach this? Okay, I think let's discuss. Let me give you one more day. Maybe you can give a try to rest of the four questions, and then we can discuss it in the next class.